one of the most fertile places on the planet, with a variety of rare endemic species. Sangklaburi, Thailand. Sunrise among the dense tropical forest in Sangklaburi. The rare endemic reptiles starts to creep out of their shelters, with more than 10% of every animal species on our planet. The rich biodiversity of wilderness is much more than anyone could ever imagine. Today, I will bring you on a journey to meet one of the most rarest endemic species of amphibians and reptiles in the Sangklaburi's tropical forest. On the first day arriving at Sangklaburi, I had to face many obstacles and challenges in order to explore the rich biodiversity surrounding me, which I will have to live with for 3 days. Some days we had to get on a four-wheel and ride into the rocky forest for almost an hour. But all of these challenges didn't make me give up. Instead, it made me try even harder. In the dark, mysterious cave of Khao Lam, our team of zoologists have been walking for 6 tiring hours. Today, our aim was to find a rare endemic species of frog. And suddenly, the Hydrophylax Leptoglossa, or so-called the Cope's Assam frog. After a long walk, our aim was finally discovered. This species is endemic to western Thailand and can only be found in dense tropical forests and caves. There hasn't been any reports of discovering this species in Thailand since the past 5 years. The frog was first discovered near the city of Yangon, Rangoon, Myanmar. The genus name comes from the Greek word hudo, meaning water, and the word phulax, meaning preserver, while the species name is derived from the Latin word lepto, meaning small or thin, and the word glossa, meaning tongue, referring to the species which has a small tongue. The person who first discovered the frog was Edward Drinker Cope, which was a paleontologist and a comparative anatomist. The Thai name Gop Sangkla comes from the place where the frog was first discovered in Thailand, which was at Sangklaburi, Kanchanaburi province, Thailand. The Cope's Assam frog is referred to as a medium-sized frog, which the length from its head to its hind limbs is approximately 5 to 6 centimeters. While they have several unique identification points starting from their head, they have a long narrow head, and the function of a narrow head is because how their tongue is small and must only fit into a narrow head. This could be further analyzed that they can only eat small insects and invertebrates, for example juvenile crickets and other small insects. And the main identification points are how they have a golden thin stripe from the back of the eye to the hind limbs, brownish and clearly visible tympanum, also how the hind limbs are striped and has a membrane layer. They also have a unique slender hand or fingertips. This specifically functions to their adaptation of their habitats in the wild. For example, helping them to be able to stick on rocks near caves. Lastly, they have a white mixed with black underbelly which is visible and a sign of identification for the Cope's Assam frog specifically. They also have a draped dark brown to cream lip color and an alternating dark brown with a white line along the corner of the mouth. Habitat. The Cope's Assam frog can be found living in low hill forests, black forests, or caves, sometimes found far from rivers and streams, while their breeding takes place at small ponds and puddles. When the frog is mature and fully grown, they will be in quite pale and light colors, unlike juveniles and newborn, which will be bright in color. The species distributed in India, Bangladesh, Myanmar, and western Thailand's Kanchanaburi province. But the population and widespread of the species is very concerning, since it is now rarely seen due to habitat destruction and change in climate patterns. The Cope's Assam frog breeds in canals, streams, and stagnant water with vegetation. The Cope's Assam frog breeds during March to August, with reproductive activity peaking between April and June. The species also hibernates from November to February. The breeding environment suitable for the Cope's Assam frog is approximately 28 degrees Celsius and 67% humidity. While breeding, there could be several short callings from the male, which is used to attract the females. Callings from the Hydrophylax Leptoglossa are at different pitches when trying to communicate with each other. If there is a predator approaching the eggs, they will start calling their mate to protect the eggs. One female, Hydrophylax Leptoglossa, could release more than 200 eggs at a time, which after 3 days, the eggs would hatch into dark brown to black tadpoles that measure 2.9 to 3.2 millimeters in total length, according to statistics. But after 7 days, only 40% of the tadpoles manage to stay alive. This could be caused by many factors, for example, predators, forest destruction, and change in environmental circumstances. While sometimes identifying wild frogs could be hard and takes experience, but for the Hydrophylax Leptoglossa, when fully grown, most females will be significantly larger than males. This is to accommodate the amphibian mating process called amplexus. Because the male will have to climb onto the female, while the female needs to support the weight. Furthermore, identifying frog gender could also be seen at the tympanum, or so-called the eardrums of the frog, which is located next to the eye. It is a small round disc covering the ears of both male and female frogs. While on males, the circumference of the tympanum is larger than the eye of the frog. On females, the disc circumference is equal to the size of the frog's eye or even smaller. Another way to identify the gender of the Hydrophylax Leptoglossa could also be by looking at the vocal sacs. Male frogs will have a vocal sac under their throat which enables them to make croaking sounds. Since the vast majority of the croaking comes from the males, they have specially constructed vocal sacs designed for this purpose. When the frog isn't croaking, the deflated sac may make the skin on the throat seem more thin and baggy than on female frogs. The Hydrophylax Leptoglossa also serves a very important and special role in the food chain. And believe it or not, it also impacts us humans as well. Well, that's because they are capable of eating small insects, which most animals couldn't. They are one of the most important species which will control the population of small invertebrates and not cause an overpopulation of small insects and invertebrates in the ecosystem.
Now this is about all the information about the Hydrophylax Leptoglossa frog. And even you, as an audience, can be a part in helping to save this species from extinction by just raising awareness and educating others. Maybe talk to your friends about this species. We can together save this species from extinction once and for all.